Hey everyone, like I mentioned in my video from yesterday, I have another Holiday Cup Ultra League team for you all, and this one actually wasn't my own creation. It was actually made by my friend Liquid Ken, and his girlfriend Lisa also used this team as well, and both of them hit legend with this team. And I looked at the team myself and I thought, this is actually pretty solid. So I gave it a spin and it was very, very strong. The general premise is you want to set up your Lantern for success here, drawing out the Dragon with your own Giratina. The team consists of Charm Ninetales with Dragon Breath Giratina and Spark Lantern. Lantern is definitely an investment, but I think with the addition of themed Ultra League metas these days in GBL, it's been very strong in Weather Cup as well, and I'm sure it will be useful in the future. So it's a pretty good investment. These are going to be the first 15 battles I use using this team, nothing filtered out, so you can see kind of how I did while I was learning the team myself. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. In this first battle, we are going to face a Charizard in the lead here, and you'll see that a lot of times, even when you lose the lead, it doesn't really matter too much. Some people say, oh, this cup is really RPS, but actually with a lot of proper energy management, you'll be okay. And here's the thing, my opponent here is actually counter-swapping my Giratina with their own, and this is never a good idea if you're trying to maintain switch advantage, because I'm a Dragon Breath ahead. So as long as I shield through this opposing Giratina, I will be able to win switch advantage. And once I win switch advantage, it's pretty much over. So we are going to Dragon Breath it down. And here's the best part: if they do come in Charizard, I could grab a shield with Ancient Power. They smartly decided to come in with Ampharos instead, so they don't have to burn a shield. However, down a shield, Lantern still does pretty well, and they end up still using the shield. So now we're in a huge advantage, and they might Focus Blast me, but that's fine. It's going to be a Focus Blast, and then now I'm going to come in with the Lantern, and Lantern is going to be able to finish this off, and they're going to concede the match right there. All right, Aurorus. This is a really tough one, and one that took me a while to learn. And I was looking at the simulations, and I thought, okay, if I just double shield the meteor beams, I should be able to charm all the way down. They actually throw a weather ball here, which is kind of interesting. So this does change things. I can't easily charm all the way down, so I'm going to throw a Side Shock, either grab a shield or take him out. And now I'm going to try to catch a move on my Giratina. So this is going to be a weather ball. It's going to do a lot of damage, but we Dragon Breath it down before it does any additional damage. So we're set up pretty well here, all things considered. Galvantula, kind of an interesting Pokemon to see in this meta, but we are in a good spot, and they don't show the Ancient Power, which is kind of interesting. I am able to definitely Dragon Breath this thing down because I'm resisting all the energy here, all the moves. I'm gonna just throw the Dragon Breath just to get rid of this and see what happens next. And they have a Virizion, and this is probably gonna be Sacred Sword. No, they actually running Leaf Blade, which is much worse for my backline, but with the charm damage adding up, and it looks like we CMP actually on this move too, which is really, really nice for me. We able to finish it off and don't even need a Lantern for this one. Like I said, these are all the first 15 battles I'm playing, so nothing's really filtered out here, and again, you're watching me kind of learn how to play some of these matchups myself. This one's kind of an interesting one. Again, Giratina can typically flip switch against a lot of things if they don't have a hard check to it or they don't swap right away. I decided to shield the potential Stone Edge just because I didn't want them to come in with something else that could finish me off, like this Charizard, for example. But because they swap so late here, I could potentially pivot out after I throw this Dragon Claw. I'm going to throw this Dragon Claw to kill the switch timer a little bit. They double shield, which is huge for me, and then now they just concede the match. So I was seeing a lot of these on this first set, which is kind of nice. Definitely reaffirming for sure. All right, so my opponent here is going to swap straight to their Lantern. And I wasn't really sure what to do here because you don't typically see charm safe swaps. But I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt here to try to take this out and maintain switch. They actually shield, which allows me to get off one more Surf. Lantern's pretty bulky though, so I'm pretty confident that I could potentially survive the Side Shock, but no, I just shield. Yeah, that's probably the right call because I definitely can't Spark down afterward. And then here comes the Obstagoon. I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt and see what happens. We're going to chunk it quite a bit, and we have the Ninetales still with energy too, which is kind of nice. I'm going to no shield this Cross Chop, And just keep charming away, and here comes Charizard. As expected, the charm counter. But even though they drew out the Lantern early, I still have this, which is going to do pretty well here. I think I'm probably going to go Dragon Claw bait here. It's a little risky if they don't shield it, but the thing is, they need to really take this out. So they do shield as expected, and then I'm going to shield here, and then throw the Ancient Power to finish this off. Their switch time's not up yet, so that's going to be good for me. I can land this, and then swap to my Ninetales, and take out this Obstagoon. What's up, girl? Oh my goodness, I got my big little chunky baby here. But yeah, we're going to charm right down. This is a tough one. A lot of them are running Gyro Ball these days too. Not a lot of them are running Bulldoze, and the Bulldoze variant is a little bit better for this team. Unfortunately, not the Gyro Ball version. So this is my first time facing one, and Ken actually gave me a warning that these are pretty tough. They go straight for a return actually. So this one's actually running return, which is slightly more in my favor because it's a little more energy intensive than Gyro Ball, but I'm still in a tough spot. So I'm thinking, all right, I just got to double shield this and see what happens. I don't run into these teams very often, so I don't really know what to expect. And they double shield here, and so this is going to be interesting. They do throw a return to finally take me out, so I'm going to spark this down, and they're going to get one move off here. This might be just Ice Punch. Yeah, just Ice Punch. Not too big of a deal. But what I fail to neglect to realize is pretty much all of these teams have Giratina in the back, so that is definitely a tough time. I think they're very strong pairings, and they also have Rizzion too. So my Lantern really has no place to go here. I really just need to take out this Giratina if I can. Hopefully take them out before they get to another move, and that does end up working out here. A lot of these Rizzion are not running Leaf Blade, so I'm in a slightly better position than I would expect. At this point, I wasn't even sure which is the better move here, but I think Thunderbolt is slightly more energy efficient here. Yeah, I think I just need to go for another Thunderbolt here, and this is going to do a good chunk of damage. And do I get to another move? I do, but is this Thunderbolt enough? Resistive Rizzion, very bulky. Unfortunately not. Keeping it quite close though. So my first loss, my first set, not too bad given the lead situation there, right? Keeping it quite close. All right, we're going to set number 2 here. It is going to be an Obstagoon. And here comes a Charizard safe swap, which is always a good time. I'm going to not shield anything here. Blast Burn, Dragon Claw, doesn't really matter. You'll be in a good spot. I'm going to go straight for a Thunderbolt to take this out. Looks like my cat is trying to take me out too. All right. So here comes the Obstagoon. One thing to note is Obstagoon is going to win charging priority over his Lantern. So, just something to keep note of. I don't think there's a situation where they won't win charging priority. So as you can see here, I'm going to throw the Surf ahead of time, and they are going to counter me down, but energy on Obstagoon is not too big of a deal. And then here comes Talonflame, and they're going to concede right there. So yeah, a lot of fast matchups here. Celesteela, this is a pretty rough one. They resist all my moves, and they're doing super effective smackdown damage, which is not great. I believe Smackdown. Is that not Smackdown? No, I think it is, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was Rocked or not, but that definitely looks like Smackdown. I don't know why I threw the Dragon Call there. I should have thrown the Ancient Power, but at least have some energy reserved here. So yeah, not the best play by me. I don't know why I thought they're both resisted, but no, Ancient Power would have been better. But we are able to Dragon Breath down. So yeah, maybe if I did throw the Ancient Power, I wouldn't have had time to throw another Dragon Call. So it ends up working out quite well. Because now we're in a very advantageous spot. I had to shield a potential Stone Edge for sure, but that's fine. And here comes the Celesteela, and my Lantern's going to do great here. Yeah, they're going to just only throw Body Slams here. And I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt to take it out. I think Surf's actually enough. I realized that a little bit later. But that's fine. Just because I ended up running into another Celesteela. We can probably just spark this all the way down. Yeah, and that's going to yeah, we're going to get a lot of energy here. This energy is not super meaningful here. Well, actually, no. Every little chip damage actually counts quite a bit because they're quite low. All right. Something I realized later is if they are staying in this matchup and shielding up, you should swap out eventually. But I didn't really realize that initially here too. So this is another time. This person is going straight Meteor Beam. Again, when I was looking at the Sims, I thought I could just charm all the way down as long as I double shields. But so this opponent actually swaps out here, which is really nice for me, actually. So it's to a Charizard, of all things, as well. So that's going to pay off for sure. They're going Dragon Claw for some reason. Blast Burn is definitely the more energy efficient move, I believe, in this situation, just because Blast Burn is such a good move. But either way, we're going to throw the Sparks, and we're going to Spark down. We're in a huge advantageous position here. The Aurorus is quite low, so there's that going for me. And then also I have my Giratina still, which is actually a quite good check. Am I going to pivot out here? I guess I don't. I probably should. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I just line up the Giratina into this. All this energy on the Virizion not going to be that meaningful. So there's that. And then I'm just getting ready for potentially a swap here. But I should be able to charm down the Aurorus. Yeah. Can I charm down? Yeah, I do. Yeah, and then now we're in a huge advantageous position. We just fast move down all the way at this point. But yeah, so I don't know if it's in these clips or not, but you might see it later. Oh my goodness, these are always the fun teams to face here too. They are double weak to Charm, and I don't really know how these teams really work when you go into a Charm lead. This opponent actually did boost though, so that's definitely working in their favor. But we should be able to take this out because we have a shield advantage. Oh no, actually no, we're even shields. I have a slight energy advantage, so I'm fine. Yeah, and now they probably come with the Obstagoon, but I still have the Alolan Ninetales here. I mean, that one at least is running Shadow Claw, so it's a little bit better, I think, into Charm Ninetales, but I don't know. I don't typically recommend these teams. They're very tough to use. I mean, we saw in my last video with the Pilot Swine, someone running Dragon Breath Tina with Obstagoon in the back, right? It's just, I don't know. It's a huge gamble in my opinion. All right, this is Talonflame. Again, you resist everything here, so you're in a good spot. I'm going to go straight for Thunderbolt. Pretty hard hitting, and should almost take it out. And as you can see, he almost does, and the opponent's going to concede. Again, this team composition is very, very strong, even when you're not winning Switch. I mean, the only match we lost so far was against Alolan Ninetales, or Alolan Sandslash, which was a huge core breaker, and we still kept that super close. Great catch from my opponent here, and actually good timing on them to CMP here, but it's just going to be a Dragon Claw. And the thing is, if we take this out, it's not a big deal because now they have a Togekiss in the back, so they have to reveal their third Pokemon at this point, and that's going to be good for me. Actually, they come in with the Togekiss, which is really odd in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, maybe just try to make something out of this, but yeah, it's not going to be great for them. I'm going to go straight for the Surf here. They actually shield too, which is even more wild. I'm thinking, I don't even know what they have in the back. I don't remember. Oh, they have a, oh, okay. Yeah, definitely a little bit interesting. I mean, technically Lantern beats the whole team, but yeah, we're just going straight for the Ancient Power to finish it off. But yeah, there's the 5-0. So another set, 9-1 overall on my first 10 battles here using it. So pretty solid. Again, a bad lead, but we're not too worried about bad leads here. Here comes Alolan Ninetales. All right, this is about as bad as it probably gets. Because you just can't force shields here in all likelihood. They can finish you off if they choose to throw their energy. This one's not throwing their energy, but they technically tank this Ancient Power. Yeah, if they know what they're doing, they don't need a shield. So good planning from their end here. I'm just going to charm this down. Now, here's the thing. I don't have switch advantage, and I don't have shield advantage. We're on even shields here, so I just need to hope that my Lantern can sweep whatever they have in the back end. Here comes the Talonflame, and here comes a Lapras. So definitely working in our favor, completely core breaking them here with the Lantern in the back. They actually no shield there too. Maybe they thought I was going to bait. But we're in a very advantageous position, especially because they go straight Skull Bash. Because they didn't bait me here too. It's the likelihood of them landing a Skull Bash at any point in time in this matchup is very rare. So we're gonna throw another Thunderbolt here, and they shield yet again. I'm definitely going to shield this, and the thing is, once they come with Talonflame, it's not a huge deal. I'm gonna just tank this move here. Doesn't matter what it is. Overfarm probably a little bit. Yeah, we're going to overfarm a little bit here, and yeah, this Lapras is not going to get to another Skull Bash. I don't even think it gets to a Surf, actually. Yeah, they're going to concede. Giratina. Dragon Breath Giratina in particular. Very, very nice lead, as we saw earlier in the last battle. Can't really do too much here. Any Giratina that stays in like this, I typically shield because that means, well, they get boost too, but it typically means they're quite weak to Alolan Ninetales. I mean, if they're using Giratina as their Alolan Ninetales counter here, something's off, right? So they're going to throw another Ancient Power. I am going to shield this. I expect the Obstagoon in the back for sure. And here comes a Fire type, of course. APA. Yep, exactly. Here comes the Obstagoon. they're lagging a little bit here, which is I thought they gave up, so I'm gonna throw this and see what happens. So they're still tapping. I think I give them a few free counters. Yeah, so they come back in the game. Some weird lag. I'll probably just give them a few free counters. It doesn't actually change the outcome of this battle, but typically speaking, I'm not a huge fan of winning these kinds. So I'm gonna let them get a few more counters through, get a nice slash to put me a little bit lower. I'm gonna Dragon Breath down. Would have been about the same outcome anyway. And we're gonna throw Ancient Power, grab their shields, go Lantern. That should be GG's. Yeah, these kind of teams, these ABA weak to Charm teams are, I don't know, kind of a huge gamble. I'm sure they work to some degree at times. My opponent just quit, so that's why I didn't even charge it. But I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan. All right. Charizard lead. This opponent is going to throw a Dragon Claw first and then dip out in all likelihood, which is definitely a smart play if you want to maintain switch advantage. But here's something I noticed while playing this matchup. Obstagoon cannot win this matchup in 2 shields if you land 2 Dragon Claws. So here's the thing. I need to throw a second Dragon Claw before they get to a nice slash. If they no shield this Dragon Claw, I know I could just double shield and Dragon Breath down and then get switch advantage. And here's the thing, if I Dragon Breath down, I'll have an Ancient Power ready for that Charizard. If it decides to come back in, I grab a shield right off the bat. They might come in with something else, but at this point, I know I'm just going to maintain switch advantage. Charizard is a little bit on the lower health end too, so they're probably in close to surf range as well. So they do come in Charizard. Now I can grab a shield or I just take out the Charizard. In all likelihood, they shield. They actually don't shield. Kind of wild. But here comes a Trevenant. So they do shield that. Yeah, this is kind of scary for the back end for sure. I was hoping the Charizard would shield. Because they didn't shield, this makes the matchup a little bit scarier. But we're going to throw this Weather Ball and it's going to grab shields. I just need to put in Surf or Thunderbolt range. And as you can see, very, very low health. I'm going to bring the Giratina here, forcing them to throw the energy. And then now they come in Lantern. They don't even know what this is. They might throw a Shadow Ball here. That's exactly what they do, actually. They throw a Shadow Ball here, which actually technically does more damage to C-Bomb, I think. But yeah, there's just way too much health on the Lantern left. Again, another Charizard throwing a Dragon Claw. Let's see if they do the same play or not. This time it's going to be an Ampharos. Kind of an interesting play. Now, these Volt Switches are not super deadly. My guess is they have Brutal Swing on this one. So I'm going to let the first one go through. Oh, no, I guess I shielded. Okay. I don't think I could flip this matchup. Let's see how they play this out. Okay, yeah, they actually let me land another one. So at this point, I'm committed to flipping it. I believe I lived this Brutal Swing. Yeah. And now we can just Dragon Breath down. And that's huge for me because now I get, again, Ancient Power off here. And I only had to spend 1 shield in this situation, unlike last time. I think I just... No, I thought it wasn't a Charizard first. Yeah, we throw... Now we're on even shields and I have switch advantage. That's huge for me. I'm going to let everything go here and see what happens. They might have something else that's not too bad into the Ninetales. So there's that. But we CMP here, which is good because I can force shield, just take out the Charizard and see what they have in the back. And it is a Alolan Golem. Well, it's actually Rock Throw too. Rock Throw variants. Do we get to another Surf? Yeah. Energy generation is just not as strong here. And we are going to just Charm this down. I'm going to let this go. Yeah, it's going to be Rock Blast. A little underwhelming. Not as good as Stone Edge. But I think they had to bait there. And or just go for the Stone Edge and hope that I don't shield. But expecting the Rock Blast here, I decided to just let it go and it ended up paying off. Alright, we saw something similar earlier, Alolan Golem throwing a Stone Edge and then dipping. Or they didn't even dip actually in that one. They just stayed in. And it looks like this one's staying in too for some reason. So we're just going to throw these Dragon Claws, see what happens. And this is, Alolan Golem's quite low at this point, which is quite nice. They do Stone Edge, but now we just completely have switch advantage. And they come in with Dragon Ball Giratina. I'm actually very confused by this. I mean, maybe they're hoping they could sweep with something like a Charizard on the back with the shield advantage, which is not too bad to gamble on, but I don't know. They just gave us switch advantage pretty easily. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But yeah, we get another 5-0 here, and this is the first 15 games, 14-1 right off the bat with this team. Not only was I able to climb quite a bit in those 3 sets, I played this team for the last 2 days or so, and I climbed even more after that, getting to my all-time ELO high of this season in the 2800s. As you can see on the screen here, this was my last set that I played today. Shout out again to Ken for creating such a cool team, and it was awesome to get to play a little bit, and congrats to Ken and Lisa for hitting legend so early in the season. You can check out their respective Twitch streams in the links down below. I have linked them, and they stream pretty often, a couple times every week, so definitely worth tuning in if you want to see some more cool teams from them. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch you all next time.